he was when I visited him at the hospital. He remained hopeful that he will recover so we could continue our discussions on matters of national interest. Such was Ambassador Gbeho's devotion to Ghana, steadfast until the very end, and always ready to place his experience at the service of the Republic. Ambassador Gbeho was a true son of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. He joined the Ghana Foreign and Commonwealth Service in 1959, only 2 years after independence, advancing through its professional and administrative ranks. He remains the only foreign minister in our history to have risen from the level of a junior career officer through the successive responsibilities of director, chief director, ambassador, permanent representative, and deputy minister, before ultimately serving as Minister for Foreign Affairs. His public service later extended to advising President John Evans Mills on foreign policy and leading the Economic Community on West African States Commission as its president. Ambassador Gbeho arrived at the summit of Ghanaian and international diplomacy through a lifetime of discipline, learning, and distinguished service. His remarkable progression reflected merit, institutional knowledge, and proven competence. He did not merely lead the ministry, he understood its work from the ground up and carried its finest traditions into every office he occupied. On the global stage, Ambassador Gbeho demonstrated that the nation's influence is determined not only by its size, but by the quality, consistency, and integrity of its representation. From helping to establish Ghana's diplomatic presence in China, to assignments in New Delhi, Lagos, Bonn, London, and Geneva, he carried our national interests with distinction across the principal theaters of international diplomacy. He went on to spend a decade as Ghana's permanent representative to the United Nations in New York, where he presided over the United Nations Security Council during Ghana's rotational presidencies in May 1986 and September 1987. He also provided principled leadership in the international campaign against apartheid and colonial domination, reinforcing Ghana's historic commitment to African liberation and human dignity. At the height of the Cold War, he navigated deep ideological divisions with calm judgment while preserving Ghana's independence of thought and preference for constructive engagement. Through his intellect, credibility, and moral authority, Ambassador Gbeho ensured that Ghana's voice was heard and respected at the highest tables of global decision-making. Ambassador Gbeho's resolve was severely tested in some of Africa's darkest hours, but he endured as the United Nations Secretary General Special Representative for Somalia during the closing phase of the United Nations operation in Somalia, and subsequently as the Economic Community of West African States Special Representative for Liberia. He entered environments where institutions had collapsed, relationships had fractured, and trust was in desperately short supply. Through patient engagement and practical resolve, he contributed to ceasefire efforts, political dialogue, humanitarian coordination, and the restoration of constitutional order. He later brought his experience to his leadership of the ECOWAS Commission, where he firmly defended constitutional government and the region's policy of zero tolerance for power, obtained or retained through unconstitutional means, including during the post-electoral crisis of the Republic of Cote d'Ivoire. Yet, his vision extended beyond crisis management. He championed the transition from an ECOWAS of states to an ECOWAS of the people, insisting that regional integration must deliver tangible benefits to ordinary citizens. In these demanding assignments, Ambassador Gbeho carried Ghana's commitment to peace into the heart of conflict and proved that principled diplomacy, backed by courage and perseverance, could help restore hope where despair had taken hold. For all his achievements around the world, Ambassador Gbeho's heart remained deeply rooted in his home and the people of Angola, whom he served as an independent member of parliament from 2001 to 2005. His patriotism was nurtured within a family closely woven into Ghana's national story. He was the son of Philip Gbeho, whose musical arrangement of our national anthem remains an enduring part of our collective identity, while his daughter, Kiki Gbeho, continues the family's enviable tradition of international public service at the United Nations. Beyond public service, Ambassador Gbeho was a devoted family man and a gentleman, admired for his simplicity, warmth, and remarkable gift for storytelling. He generously shared his wealth of experience and wisdom with all who sought it, myself included. Beneath the gravitas of the statesman was a gracious and approachable man whose life remained anchored in family, community, and service to others. Ambassador Gbeho's legacy will be the exceptional length, quality, scale, and impact of his service, spanning the national, regional, international arenas. His life offers a powerful lesson in what discipline and principled public service can achieve. Ambassador Gbeho's example reminds us that patriotism must be expressed through competence, integrity, and sacrifice, that influence is earned through credibility and consistency, and that even the gravest disputes can be confronted through courage, dialogue, and respect for human dignity. He remains a profound personal inspiration to me and should inspire every patriotic Ghanaian, particularly those entrusted with public responsibility. In recognition of Ambassador Gbeho's remarkable service and contribution to the nation, I, along with the management of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, have decided to name one of our facilities in our new ministerial block after him to immortalize his memory. Ghana has lost an exceptional
traditions of diplomacy, unwavering integrity, intellectual distinction, quiet strength, impeccable professionalism, and an unshakable devotion to the Republic of Ghana. He belonged to that remarkable generation of diplomats who helped define Ghana's place in community of nations and whose service elevated the country's reputation as a principled, respected, and influential voice in international affairs. Ambassador dignity and remarkable effectiveness. His exceptional abilities not only led to positions of increasing responsibility. From 1979 to 1988, he served as ambassador and cabinet representative of Ghana to the United Nations office in Geneva, with concurrent representation to the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, UNIDO, in Vienna. He was subsequently appointed ambassador and cabinet representative of Ghana to the United Nations in Geneva. The policies he helped shape, the peace initiatives to which he contributed, the countless young officers he mentored, and the enduring reputation of professionalism that he held for Ghana's foreign services. His life reminds us that diplomacy, at its highest calling, is not merely the conduct of relations between states, but patient pursuit of peace, understanding, and common good. Today, Ghana mourns one of her finest diplomats. Africa mourns a devout son. The international community mourns a principal statesman. Yet, in our grief, we celebrate a life of extraordinary purpose, uncommon distinction, and selfless service. A life that enriched our nation and left an indelible mark on the history of Ghanaian diplomacy. On behalf of the management and staff of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, heartfelt condolences are extended to the beloved family, friends, and all who have the privilege of knowing and serving along him. May Almighty God grant Ambassador James Victor Gbeho eternal rest, and may his remarkable legacy continue to inspire generations of Ghanaian diplomats in the fruitful and faithful services of God, country, and humanity.
In a show of solidarity, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is joined by all diplomats serving and retired from home and abroad. And this brings us to the end of the violent past, save the clergy and the immediate family who oversee the closing of the casket. And now, dearly beloved, a few tributes before the liturgy. The Old Ajimotan Association is here represented by the President. He shall read the tributes.
Good morning, Your Excellencies. As is Achimotan tradition, can I kindly ask all old Achimotans here present to surround the casket of Accra Gbeho, so we pay him our last respects, Achimotan sir. As quickly as you can, please.